Vinegar tastes like something that has gone a little too far. It is sharp, sour, and slightly unsettling in the way foods become when they no longer feel fully trustworthy. In most kitchens, that kind of change is a warning sign. But vinegar is the strange exception. People bottle it, keep it on shelves, pour it into dressings, stir it into sauces, and use it to preserve other foods. That is the real mystery. The odd thing is not that vinegar is sour. The odd thing is that humans decided this particular kind of sourness was worth keeping. So how did something that feels so close to spoiled become one of the oldest ingredients in the world? To answer that, it helps to stop seeing vinegar as just a seasoning. It is a living transformation that people learn to understand, guide, and use. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. Vinegar is more than taste. Most of the time, vinegar is treated like a supporting ingredient, a splash in a dressing, a little brightness in a sauce, a quiet background note in pickles or marinades. But vinegar becomes much more interesting the moment you stop seeing it as flavor alone. It is the result of life working in sequence. One set of microorganisms changes a food in one direction, and another set carries it further. That slow chain of change turns sweetness into something sharp, stable, and surprisingly useful. That usefulness is what matters. Vinegar helped food last longer. It made heavy dishes feel lighter and clearer. It gave people a way to preserve, balance, sharpen, and transform what they had. And because human needs were similar across different places, many cultures arrived at vinegar in their own way, using their own ingredients. So vinegar was not simply a mistake that survived. It was a process people learned to turn into an advantage. What vinegar really is. At its simplest, vinegar is mostly water with acetic acid dissolved in it. That acid is what gives vinegar its sharp taste and much of its preserving power. But the real story of vinegar is that it does not begin as vinegar at all. It begins somewhere softer, usually with sugar. The easiest way to picture it is as a two-step journey. Sweet becomes alcoholic, and alcoholic becomes acidic. In the first step, yeast feed on sugars in things like grape juice, apple juice, rice, or beer, and turn those sugars into ethanol. That is the same basic process behind wine, cider, and other alcoholic drinks. Then comes the second step. When oxygen is present, acetic acid bacteria begin working on that alcohol and turn it into acid. That means vinegar is not just a sour liquid that appears on its own. It is the result of two living processes happening one after the other. One form of life turns sweetness into alcohol. Another takes that alcohol and pushes it further into something sour, stable, and useful. That is what makes vinegar feel so unusual. It was once sweet, then intoxicating, and finally sharp. It is both the end of one thing and the beginning of another. And perhaps that is exactly why vinegar once looked so much like something that should have been discarded. From accident to technique, it was probably discovered the way many ancient food techniques were discovered, by accident and then by attention. A wine, beer, or fermented fruit drink was left exposed to air for too long. Its flavor shifted, the sweetness disappeared, the alcohol faded. What remained was something sour and clearly no longer the drink it used to be. Under normal circumstances, that kind of change would be a warning. It would mean something had gone too far. But vinegar seems to have taught people a different lesson. It was no longer enjoyable in the way wine was enjoyable, yet it could do things wine could not. Its acidity helped food last longer in a world without refrigeration. It helped preserve vegetables, herbs, and other ingredients. It also changed flavor in a useful way. A little sourness could brighten a heavy dish, cut through richness, and make other tastes feel more vivid. And beyond that, vinegar made food easier to work with. It could be used in pickling, sauces, marinades, and sometimes even diluted into practical drinks. That is likely why vinegar survived history. People did not keep it because it was perfect. They kept it because they noticed that something which seemed close to spoiled had become unexpectedly useful. That reflects a very old kind of human intelligence, not just avoiding change, but recognizing when a change can be turned into value. Once people understood that, vinegar stopped being an accident. it became a technique. When sourness became a technique, history leaves traces of that lesson all over the world. Ancient Mesopotamians seem to have used vinegar-like liquids thousands of years ago. Babylonians made it from date wine and beer. Traces of vinegar have even been found in Egyptian tombs. In Greece and Rome, it moved beyond preservation and into daily life. The Greeks mixed it into drinks with water and honey. The Romans gave soldiers and laborers pasca, a practical mixture of vinegar and water. Later, places like Orléans became known for slow-barrel methods, while Italy shaped grape must into the long tradition behind balsamic vinegar. These are very different histories, but they all point to the same realization. Once people saw what sourness could do, they stopped treating it as a failure. And once a technique enters human life, it begins to travel. Over time, people made vinegar from whatever they had close at hand. In places shaped by grapes, wine vinegar made sense. In places where apples were abundant, apple cider vinegar followed naturally. In rice-growing cultures, rice vinegar became part of everyday cooking. Elsewhere, local ingredients led to other vinegars, each shaped by climate, agriculture, and taste. On the surface, these vinegars can feel very different. Some are pale and delicate, some are dark and deep, some are clean and sharp, while others feel rounder, sweeter, or more aged. They belong to different dishes and different habits. But underneath all that variety, the same quiet logic remains. Something rich in sugar becomes alcohol, and alcohol becomes acid. That may be one of the most beautiful things about vinegar. People in different parts of the world did not need to meet one another to discover it in similar ways. They only needed to live closely enough with food to notice the same pattern. Different ingredients, different kitchens, different histories, but the same living process underneath. That shared pattern is so central that it even hides inside the word itself. Vinegar literally means sour wine. That shared pattern is so central that it is hidden even in the name itself. The word vinegar comes from the French vinaigre, which literally means sour wine. And that small fact reveals almost everything. Vinegar did not begin as a completely separate invention. It began as something familiar that had changed. Wine, cider, or another fermented drink was left long enough to move past its usual form. What people first saw was not a brand new ingredient, but a drink that seemed to have gone too far. And yet, instead of throwing it away, they kept it. That is the real surprise. The name still remembers that moment. Vinegar does not hide its origin. It openly admits that it was once wine that turned sour. But the deeper insight is this. Humans did not keep vinegar because they forgot what it used to be. They kept it because they realized that this changed form had a different kind of value. What was no longer useful as wine became useful in another way, for preserving, sharpening, balancing, and transforming food. And that same story repeats everywhere. Whether vinegar begins with grapes, apples, rice, malt, dates, or something else, it is always born from the same living logic. Something sweet becomes alcohol, and alcohol becomes acid. The ingredients may change, the cultures may differ, and the flavors may vary, but the underlying pattern stays the same. Every vinegar in the world is, in its own way, another version of that same old transformation. The 5-second rule for choosing vinegar. If you want a simple way to judge a bottle of vinegar, do not start with price. Start with clarity. In 5 seconds, look for 3 things. First, what is it made from? A trustworthy vinegar usually tells you its base clearly: apple, rice, grape, malt, or something else specific. Second, does it explain itself well? A serious bottle usually makes clear what kind of vinegar it is, how acidic it is, or how it is meant to be used. Third, does it look like what it claims to be? Some vinegars are clear, some darker, and some may even carry light sediment. That is not automatically a flaw. What matters is whether the appearance fits the kind of vinegar in the bottle. The goal is not to hunt for the most expensive one. It is to notice whether the product has a clear origin and a clear identity. With vinegar, the most trustworthy bottle usually does not need to say much. It just needs to show you where it began. Change is not always loss. So why did humans keep something that tastes so close to what we usually distrust? By now, the answer feels larger than flavor. We kept vinegar not simply because it is pleasantly sour, but because it showed us that change is not always loss. Sometimes a thing moves away from its first form and becomes useful in an entirely different way. Vinegar is a quiet example of that. It may begin in sweetness, pass through alcohol, and settle into sharpness. Yet that final stage is not failure. It is the moment when it becomes preservative, seasoning, marinade, memory, and habit. It moves into pickles, sauces, and everyday meals, becoming part of kitchens across centuries and cultures. Vinegar reminds us that not everything that changes should be thrown away at once. Sometimes the things that seem closest to spoiled are the very things humans have learned to use most skillfully. What kind of vinegar appears most often in your kitchen? Rice vinegar, apple cider vinegar, or something else? And have you ever thought of vinegar as something that once went a little too far, or has it always felt like a natural part of cooking? If you enjoyed this story, subscribe and suggest another simple thing we should explore next.